At the engagement party, my fiancé publicly called me a thief, holding his secretary's hand right in front of me, saying he was going to call the police. 10 minutes later, I had the club pull the surveillance footage and played the whole setup for everyone. Before the story begins, tell me in the comments where you're watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe. When I pushed open the office door, Emma was taking a selfie with my blood-red jade bracelet. She was sitting at my desk, wrist raised high, phone aimed at the bracelet. That bracelet had been passed down from my grandmother and I'd worn it for 20 years, it never left my wrist. I'd taken it off last night in the shower and left it on my vanity. By this morning, it was gone. What are you looking for, Rachel? Emma said, putting down her phone with a sweet smile. I walked over and held out my hand. My bracelet. Give it back. She blinked. Which bracelet? The one on your wrist. Emma looked down, making a little O sound. Oh, this one? It looked nice, so I borrowed it for a bit. Evan said I could try your jewelry. Evan is my fiancé. Emma is his secretary. I'm done letting you try, I said calmly. Give it back. People outside the office were already peeking in. A few coworkers stopped and stared. Emma stood up, holding her wrist under the light. It really is pretty, but Rachel, this old-fashioned style is a bit mature for you. I'm 23, it suits me perfectly. Then she suddenly hurled the bracelet to the floor. Crash! A sharp, shattering sound. The blood-red jade splintered across the floor. I stared at the shards, not moving. Emma covered her mouth. Oh no! Sorry. Slipped. Gasps came from the hallway. She bent down, nudging the largest piece with the tip of her heel, then looked up at me, her smile wider. Anyway, it was probably from some old guy, right? I heard you only got ahead because of rich older men. Pieces like this? Better broken. The office went deadly silent. Everyone's eyes were on me, judging, curious, waiting to see me cry or lose it. I pulled a document from my bag. This is an appraisal certificate from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, I said, opening it and showing it to the watching coworkers. This Qing Dynasty Qianlong blood-red jade bracelet was valued at $4.8 million last year. It has a serial number and is officially registered. Emma's smile froze. I dialed the police. I'd like to report a theft, an extremely high-value theft. The police arrived quickly. Emma was still screaming as they led her away. Evan won't forgive you. How dare you touch me? I cleaned up the shards, picking them up one by one. Half an hour later, Evan burst into the office. Rachel, are you crazy? You called the cops on Emma? He was out of breath, his tie crooked. I looked up at him. She stole a $4.8 million bracelet and smashed it in front of everyone. Should I not call the police? She's young. She didn't know any better. Evan lowered his voice. Couldn't you have just talked to me privately instead of making a scene? She's 23, an adult for 5 years. He stared at me like he was seeing me for the first time, then sighed, softening. Okay, I get it. You're mad. How about I make her apologize and replace it with a new one? Is that okay? I didn't answer. He leaned in, taking my hand. Don't be mad. Tonight I'll take you to buy a bag, whatever you want. Let's drop the case, okay? I pulled my hand away. The case is filed. I can't drop it. Evan's face darkened. He didn't argue, just turned and left. At the door, he looked back at me, complex, unreadable. That afternoon, I got a package. Inside was a 3-carat diamond ring. A note, sorry, don't be mad. Evan, I didn't wear it. That night, he sent a necklace. The next day, a limited edition bag. The day after, a car key. Gifts piled up in my office. Coworkers' expressions shifted, from sympathy to envy. Evan really spoils you, someone said. He never mentioned dropping the case again. He just showered me with more attention. A week later, Emma was released on bail. When she returned to the office, she paused outside my door in a new dress, smiling at me. I ignored her. Evan stopped taking me to high-profile business dinners. Those old men are boring, stay home, he said. Our engagement date suddenly got moved up. When he announced it, he held me tight. I want to marry you sooner so I can rest easy. A luxury hotel, private club, the priciest venue in town. 300 invitations went out. Everyone said Evan loved me too much, he couldn't wait to get married. I looked at the stacks of gifts, the suddenly advanced wedding date, and Evan's overly tender smile. A voice in my head whispered, "This isn't compensation. It's reckoning." 3 days before the engagement, Evan finally spoke. "Drop the case," he said over breakfast, as casually as talking about the weather. "Emma's been crying for days. Poor thing." I set down my coffee. "She stole something. The facts are clear. She already apologized. I'll even buy you 10 new bracelets." Evan frowned. "Rachel, don't be petty. It's just a bracelet. Do you really want to ruin a girl's life over it? She ruined it herself." Evan slammed his fork down. Metal clanged against the plate. A harsh sound. "Are you going to drop it or not?" I looked at him. "No." He stared at me for a long beat, then smiled. "Cold. Empty. Fine. Suit yourself." He left without looking back. That afternoon, Emma blocked me in the parking lot. She leaned on a police car under bail conditions. She had to stay in the city and check in daily. "Heard you won't drop the case?" She chewed gum. Cold-blooded. "Rachel." I ignored her and walked to my car. "Think Evan's really going to marry you?" She shouted from behind. "Wait and see, your engagement party's going to be entertaining." I opened my door. "Oh, by the way." She blew a bubble. "Like the gifts in your office?" I picked them. I paused. "Evan had me pick them out. He said, buy whatever. Just make it expensive. She won't even notice." The bubble popped on her lips. She licked it off, eyes crinkling in a smile. "You really think he's giving you these gifts because he loves you?" I shut the door, started the engine. In the rearview mirror, she was still smiling and waving. That night, Evan didn't come home. He sent a text, late at the office. "Sleeping here." The night before the engagement, he came back reeking of alcohol. "All the invitations are out." He slumped on the sofa, eyes closed. 300 people tomorrow. "Nina, don't embarrass me at the big moment." I stood over him. "You've been drinking?" "Business stuff." He waved a hand. "Go pour me some water." By the time I brought it back, he was asleep. His phone slipped out of his pocket. Screen lit up. I bent down to pick it up. The lock screen was a photo of the two of us. I tried my birthday, wrong. His birthday, wrong. I hesitated, then typed Lily's birthday. It unlocked. Pin chat, Lily. Latest message. 20 minutes ago, everything is set for tomorrow. Don't worry. She'll be ruined. Love you. Fiancé. I set the phone down and looked at Evan, asleep on the sofa. I placed the water on the coffee table and walked upstairs. Didn't wake him. The club hall glittered with crystal chandeliers, bright as daylight. I wore a red gown, Armin Evans. As we entered, applause erupted, cameras flashing. Evan smiled politely, nodding to guests. He looked especially handsome that day, tailored suit, perfectly combed hair. "Nervous?" he murmured. "A little." He patted my hand. "Don't be. I'm here." We reached the center of the hall. The MC was about to start. Suddenly, 4 security guards approached and surrounded me. "Ms. Chen," the lead said. "Sorry, we received a report. We need to check your bag." The room went silent. Evan frowned. "What's going on?" "A guest lost something," the guard said. Expression serious. "A Richard Mille watch. Valued over 2 million. We need to check all guests." Evan looked at me, questioning. I handed over my purse. The guard opened it, reached inside. When he pulled it out, I sucked in a sharp breath. A silver watch, glinting coldly under the lights. "Found it," the guard announced. Gasps spread through the hall. Every gaze stabbed at me, shock, disdain, glee. Evan stepped back. Disbelief etched across his face. "Nina, you?" "It's not me," I said, but the words were drowned out by murmurs. "Oh my God. Stealing? At the fiancé's engagement party, desperate much?" Evan's shock shifted to disappointment, then anger. "Why?" He trembled. "Nina, do I lack money for you? Why embarrass me like this?" "I didn't take it. The watch was in your bag," he shouted, then pressed his face in his hands, wincing. "I never imagined you're like this." The side door opened. Lily walked in. She wore a white gown, bridal-like, and went straight to Evan, linking her arm with his. "I'm sorry, everyone," Evan said, holding Lily close. Voice heavy. I have to be honest. My real fiancé is Lily. Silence. Then an explosion. What? Then who is she, the other woman? A fraud? Evan turned to me. Cold eyes. Nina has been obsessing over me. Using every trick. I was weak and agreed to play along, but I never expected her to steal. Lily leaned on his shoulder, tears falling freely. Evan, I don't blame you. You're too kind, call the police. Evan told security. Handle it properly. Someone raised a phone to film. Flashes hit my face. One after another. I stood my ground. I didn't steal the watch. I said to Evan, you know that. Proof is clear. He looked away. Stop defending yourself. Keep some dignity. The guards stepped forward to take me. I raised my hand to stop them. Then I looked at Evan. Each word deliberate. You'll regret this. He smirked, contemptuous. The one who should regret it is you. Nina, I gave you chances. Before the police arrived. The media did. Reporters with long lenses blocked the entrance. Evan clutched Lily, giving interviews full of heartbreak. I never imagined she was like this, faking her identity, getting close to me and my family, even stealing. Lily sobbed. That watch was a gift from Evan's mother for our engagement. How could she? Reporters turned to me. Ms. Chin, do you have anything to say? I looked at Evan. 3 years together. And you call it fake? That was all in your head. Evan suddenly snapped. I never recognized you as my fiancé. Those gifts, those dates, made up by you, right? Guests whispered among themselves. No wonder her family never mentions her, so she's a fraud, climbing the social ladder. Obviously. A wineglass suddenly flew at me. I didn't dodge. It grazed my temple, shattering with red wine splattering over me. I didn't recognize the woman who threw it. She pointed and yelled. Shameless! Get out! Evan didn't intervene. He watched coldly. Security finally stepped in, grabbing my arms. Miss, please leave. Wait. I shrugged them off and faced Evan. We were a step apart. One last time. I said, are you going to continue this lie? This isn't a lie, it's the truth, Evan said, voice low. Meant only for me. Give up. Nina, you have no background, no backing. Apologize. And I'll even give you money to leave gracefully. Or, he smiled. I'll make sure you can't stay in this city. I nodded. Then I turned. Facing every camera, I, Nina Chin, hereby declare that I have never been engaged to Evan Chin. All accusations tonight are false. I reserve the right to pursue legal action. I walked out. Security moved to stop me, but Evan waved them off. Let her go. Poor thing, she's lost it. Reporters swarmed me, each question sharper than the last. Ms. Grant, why did you fake your identity? Is it true you stole something? What proof do you have of your relationship with Mr. Chin? I stopped at the door, turned back for a moment. Evan and Lily stood in the center of the hall, surrounded by guests, looking every bit the perfect couple. He raised his glass at me, his lips mouthed, goodbye. I walked out of the club. The night air hit me, it was freezing. My phone buzzed constantly, dozens of new messages flooding in. Unknown numbers sent insults. Social media exploded with hashtags, #socialite scam, #fake heiress engagement theft. Videos had been edited to show only me stealing the watch and walking away embarrassed. Caption, lower class woman impersonates heiress. Caught stealing at engagement party. I switched off my phone, wiped the blood from my temple. Then, from the lining of my gown, I pulled out a backup phone, dialed a number. Aunt Rose. I said, you can come over now. When I returned to the club hall, the engagement was still in full swing. Music, laughter, clinking glasses. Evan was giving a speech, thanking guests for witnessing his and Lily's true love. Lily leaned into him, radiant with happiness. I pushed the doors open. Everything went silent. Evan's brow furrowed. You're still here? Security immediately moved toward me. I didn't flinch. Ms. Grant, please leave immediately, or we will use force. Use force. A woman's voice cut through the hallway. High heels clicking sharply. All eyes turned. Madame Rose stepped in. 6 people behind her, 4 men in suits. 2 sharp female assistants. The club manager followed, pale, bending low. Ms. Rose, you came yourself. Rose ignored him. She approached me, nodding slightly. Ms. Grant. The room fell into silence. Evan's face froze. Rose turned to security. Who exactly were you going to use force on? The guards froze, looking at the manager. Sweat poured down his face. It's a misunderstanding. All a mistake. Ms. Rose. This lady is the primary heir of the Grant family, Rose said quietly, each word sharp and clear. Ms. Nina Grant. The name Grant hit the room like a bomb. Gasps. Murmurs. Chairs scraping. Evan went pale. Lily clutched his arm. Grant? Which Grant? Which one do you think? Whispered a guest nearby. The global tycoons, the Grant family. Rose looked at Evan. Mr. Chen. I received an urgent call from Ms. Grant. These theft allegations, true? Evan opened his mouth, but no sound came out. Where's the evidence? Rose asked. The head of security stepped forward nervously. The watch was found in her bag. Show me the surveillance. Rose interrupted. The club is covered in cameras. Let's see how that watch ended up in Ms. Grant's bag. The manager glanced at Evan. Evan's face drained completely. Play the footage. Rose commanded. Wait. Evan finally found his voice. It's a misunderstanding. Someone must have planted it, then all the more reason to check the footage. Rose said, smiling. The innocent have nothing to fear. The surveillance team quickly rolled the equipment to the big screen. 300 eyes fixed on it. Fast forward, me entering. The security check. The watch being found. Then rewind. Rewind again. Stop. At the frame showing Evan hugging me. His hand. Subtle. Slipping a silver object into the side pocket of my purse. Zoom in. Crystal clear. A Richard Mille watch. The hall exploded. It's Evan. He planted it. Framing her? Oh my God, Evan stumbled back. Hitting the champagne tower. Glasses crashed to the floor. Lily screamed, it's peas. The video is fake. Rose tilted her head. An assistant stepped forward immediately. We have 3 expert technicians on standby, ready to verify the footage. Do you want us to, Mr. Chen? Evan couldn't speak. He looked at me, shock, then fear, then pleading. I looked away. Call the police. I told Rose. This time, the police arrived faster. Same team, but the attitude had completely changed. Mr. Chen, the lead officer said, you are suspected of false accusation and illegal possession of stolen property. Please come with us. Evan grabbed my hand. Nina, wait, let's talk. I pulled my hand back. Nothing to discuss. I'm your fiancé. Not anymore, I said, looking him in the eye. Remember what you said yourself? Lily lunged, trying to grab my hair. You bitch, you set us up. Rose's bodyguard stepped in, restraining her wrists. Intentional assault, add that to the record, Rose said calmly. Lily was pinned to the floor, still screaming. Evan broke down as handcuffs were slapped on him. I was wrong. Nina, it's Lily forcing me. She said if I didn't cooperate, she'd expose me and her. I was confused. I looked at him like he was a stranger. Didn't occur to you it would end like this when you framed me? Take him away. I told the police. Evan looked back one last time as they led him off. Hate, regret, fear, all in his eyes. He knew it was over. The hall descended into chaos. Guests looked around, unsure whether to leave or stay. Rose clapped her hands. Everyone, she said, calm and composed. The misunderstanding is resolved. The party continues, enjoy yourselves. No one moved. She smiled. You may leave now if you prefer. People began to shift. Some left, but most stayed. No one wanted to offend the Grant family. The manager reserved champagne. Music resumed, but the atmosphere had completely changed. All eyes kept sneaking glances at me. I walked to the head table and took a seat. Rose stood by my side like a guardian. Ready to make the announcement? She asked softly. I nodded. Rose cleared her throat. Taking this opportunity tonight, I formally introduce Ms. Nina Grant, current board member of the Grant family and the head of investment strategy for the Asia-Pacific region. Gasps filled the room. For the past 3 years, Ms. Grant has been operating under an alias, conducting market research and investment evaluations on the Chin Corporation. Tonight, The evaluation period ends. She paused, looking at all of the Chin family's partners present. Evaluation result, unsatisfactory. A pin-drop silence fell over the hall. As a result, the Grant family will terminate all cooperation with the Chin Corporation and its affiliates. Investments already made will be withdrawn, and all pending contracts are void. A middle-aged man stood, a major Chin partner. MS. Rose, this is so sudden. Sudden? Rose smiled. We informed the Chin family 3 years ago that this was a probationary observation period. Mr. Evan Chen's performance has been clear for all to see. No one dared to speak. Also, I said, my voice steady, speaking publicly for the first time. When I was framed, one of my phones was broken. I pulled the shattered screen phone from my purse. This device is an unreleased prototype from Grant Labs, I said, addressing the tech company representatives present. It contains proprietary technology, valued at roughly $800 million. Someone knocked over a wineglass. Mr. Evan Chen and his accomplices damaged this device. I continued, setting the phone down. Official legal and claim documents will be sent to the Chin Corporation tomorrow. Lily, just getting up from the floor, collapsed back. Stunned. $800 million? She murmured. Dollars. Rose added. At that moment, Evan's father stormed in, pale, sweating. He walked straight to me and bowed deeply. MS. Grant, I'm so sorry. I failed to raise my son properly. Please, give the Chin family a chance. I looked at him. 3 years ago, when I first met him, he had been arrogant. My son wants to play? Let him play. Marriage isn't happening anyway. Now, he bent to 90 degrees in front of me. The Chin Corporation can compensate. Any terms. Just don't withdraw. Half of our shares are pledged. If Grant pulls out, we'll go bankrupt. I said nothing. He grew desperate. Slapped himself across the face twice, once with each hand. Loud, sharp smacks. I was wrong. MS. Grant, I underestimated you. Please. The room was silent. Everyone was watching. I looked at this once powerful elder, now humiliated. Then I spoke, calm and measured. Mr. Chin, 3 years ago I gave you advice, properly manage your son. Run your business diligently. You said at the time, Chin family affairs are no concern of outsiders. His body wavered. Now, I stood. It's my turn. I rose from my seat and walked out. Lily grabbed the hem of my gown. Please, forgive me. I just love him. I didn't know you were. I kicked her hand away. Didn't look back. Rose followed. Bodyguards clearing the way. The night air was still cold outside the club, but something inside me had shattered completely, and it would never be cold again. The next day, every headline changed. Hashtag Grant Family Heir quietly evaluates Chin Corp for 3 years. Hashtag Evan Chen's frame up exposed. Hashtag Chin Corp faces billion-dollar investment withdrawal. Chen's stock hit the lower limit at opening. Termination letters from partners flooded the Chin headquarters. When Evan was released on bail, reporters crowded the entrance. Head down, flanked by bodyguards, he rushed into the building. The board was in session. I joined via video conference. 9 board members stared at the screen, faces pale. MS. Grant, the chairman, Evan's father, said hoarsely, "We are willing to compensate for all your losses. The bracelet, we'll hire the finest artisans to restore it. The phone, we'll pay full value. Just, please don't withdraw the investment." Other board members chimed in. The Chin Corporation can't fail, thousands of employees, if Grant withdraws. Banks will call in loans. MS. Grant, please have mercy. I sipped my coffee. Restore the bracelet? I asked. Yes. We'll consult experts from the Metropolitan Museum. The bracelet is a family heirloom from my grandmother. I interrupted. She said it could only be passed to someone truly in love. Evan let another woman wear it, and then broke it. Silence on the screen. As for the phone, I continued. This isn't about money. It's 3 years of work from Grant Labs, containing core unpublished patents. Who bears the risk if that leaks? Evan couldn't take it anymore and appeared in front of the camera. What do you want? How much money? Just say it. I looked at his angry, twisted face. I want a public apology, I said. Admit you framed me. Admit your relationship with Lily. Admit you orchestrated this scheme to get rid of me. Impossible, he shouted. That would ruin me. You're already ruined, I said calmly. His father stepped forward, taking over the camera. We apologize. Publicly. A press conference will be held tonight. Dad, Evan screamed. Shut up. His father turned and slapped him across the face. Loud, sharp, clear through the microphone. Also, I added, Lily must face criminal charges, theft, false accusation, and intentional property damage. Not a single item will be dropped. No problem. His father agreed immediately. She's been cut off from the Chin family. Everything she did is her own. I nodded. Finally, my engagement with Evan Chin is officially terminated. Please announce this publicly. Understood. All will be done, they replied. Before the video call ended, I looked at Evan. He still covered his face, eyes full of resentment. Do you hate me? I asked. He said nothing. You should hate yourself, I said. I gave you chance after chance. Every time. You chose the worst path. I closed the video. The apology press conference was at 8 that evening. Chairman Chin attended personally, Evan standing beside him, pale, cameras focused on them. I, Evan Chin, sincerely apologized to Ms. Nina Grant regarding the engagement party watch incident. It was a frame-up planned entirely by me. I have had an improper relationship with my secretary, Lily, and in order to be with her, I orchestrated this scheme against Ms. Grant. His voice shook as he read the statement. Halfway through, he broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. I'm sorry, Nina. I'm sorry. The livestream chat went insane. Ugh. What a scumbag. So all those smear campaigns against Nina were bought by him? Almost ruined a girl's entire life. The heiress of the Grant family needs him to ruin her? Hilarious. Halfway through the press conference, police suddenly entered. They went straight to Evan. Mr. Evan Chin, we have received a new report regarding your suspected embezzlement and misappropriation of corporate funds. Please come with us. The room erupted. Cameras flashed wildly. Evan was handcuffed and taken away, broadcast live. His father slumped into a chair, instantly looking 10 years older. That night, Chin Corp's stock fell another 20%. 3 days later, Lily's case went to trial. Charges, theft, false accusation, and intentional property damage. Combined, she was sentenced to 7 years in prison. When the verdict was read, she fainted in court. No one helped her. Evan didn't show, he couldn't. The Chin family certainly didn't care. A month later, Chin Corp announced bankruptcy restructuring. Grant Capital acquired its core assets at a bargain price. Evan, convicted of embezzlement, received a 5-year sentence. Before going to prison, he tried to send a message asking to see me. I refused. Another month passed, and I received a letter from prison. Evan had written it, 5 pages long. He wrote about his regrets, how much he loved me, how much he hated himself for being blinded by Lily. He described how unbearable prison life was. He begged for a second chance after his release. I fed the letter into a shredder. Then I called the prison. Please tell Evan Chin not to contact me. All mail will be destroyed immediately. A pause on the other end. He says, if you don't reply, he'll commit suicide. I smiled. Then let him try. I hung up. Chairman Chin waited outside my office for 3 hours. When I came out of my meeting, he was still there, 60 years old, hair white, back bent. Ms. Grant, he stood, voice choking. Please, go see Evan. He tried to kill himself. He's mentally breaking down, calling your name every day. I walked into the office. He followed. The doctors say if this continues, he will truly lose his mind, he cried, tears streaming. He's my only son. I sat, looking at him. Mr. Chin, do you remember 3 years ago when I visited your home? He froze. You said, my son can play around, but marriage must be equal in status. Girls like you, I've seen plenty. His face drained of color. At the time I said nothing. I wanted to see what kind of son your so-called proper upbringing would produce. I stood, moving to the window, and now I've seen it. Selfish, cowardly, despicable, foolish. He opened his mouth. No sound came out. Wondering why I'm so ruthless? I turned to him. Because you and your son never showed me any kindness. When the bracelet was broken, when I was framed, When the world insulted me, where were you? He lowered his head. Were you glad to finally rid yourself of this low-class girl? Now your son is insane. And you come begging me. I walked back to my desk. Why should I care? He fell to his knees with a thud. I was wrong. I truly was wrong. Please, just see him. Even for a moment, the doctors say only you can save him. I looked at this once powerful man, now humbled. No satisfaction stirred inside me. Only exhaustion. I'm not going, I said, but I'll arrange the best psychiatrists to treat him in prison. He lifted his head, hope flickering in his eyes. The cost is on you, I added. The Chin family isn't so broke you can't pay, right? The hope died. He slowly stood, wiping tears. Thank you for still being willing. I'm not doing it for him. I interrupted. I just won't let him die in prison and tarnish the Grant name. He glanced at me one last time, then shuffled out. The office door closed. I sat back, looking at the city. 3 years. The entire performance was finally over. The Grant family board met in New York. I attended via video. 12 board members, all over 50. I was the youngest. Nina, my grandfather said from the head seat. Everything with Chin Corp is settled? Done. Losses? Acquired Chen's core assets for $80 million. Expected ROI in 3 years. Their patents and tech team are valuable. The board exchanged looks. I hear you even arranged a doctor for that boy? An uncle said, disapproving. Just to make sure he doesn't die inside. I said, dead people cause problems. Grandpa smiled. Good, clean, decisive. No loose ends. The meeting moved on. The Asia-Pacific president role had been vacant for 6 months, waiting for me. Vote, unanimous approval. The screen displayed my formal appointment. Congratulations, Nina, Grandpa said. You are now the highest decision-maker for the Grant family in the Asia-Pacific region. I nodded. Thank you. One last question, Grandpa said, looking at me. After all this, do you still believe in love? Silence fell. I thought for a moment. Yes, I said, but love is no longer a requirement for me. Then what is? Power, I said calmly. The power to control my life. To say no. To make those who hurt me pay. Grandpa smiled, the wrinkles around his eyes softening. Exactly. That's my granddaughter. The meeting ended. I closed the video and leaned back. My assistant knocked. MS. Grant, Finance Weekly wants you for a cover story. Accept. Theme? I thought. How about, From Cinderella to Corporate Queen, A Girl's Revenge? I shook my head. No. Then, Nina Grant, I don't need a fairy tale. She noted it and left. The office was empty again. Just me. Sunlight poured through the floor-to-ceiling windows, bathing the room in gold. I picked up the old photo on my desk. A picture of me and Evan from 3 years ago. We were smiling so innocently back then. I tore it in half and tossed it in the trash. Then I opened my computer and began reviewing the first file. A new era had begun, and this time, the rules were mine to set. In Evan's 3rd month in prison, I received a report. Mental health evaluation, severe depression, self-harming tendencies, but no immediate danger to life. Treatment recommendation, continue medication and increase psychological interventions. I signed it, approving additional therapy sessions. The costs would come from his father's final remaining savings. Chairman Chin sold the last property and moved into a retirement apartment. The once glorious Chin family had completely disappeared from high society. As for Lily, life in the women's prison was harsh. Her previous pampering meant nothing behind bars. She crossed the wrong inmate and suffered severely. I heard her requests to transfer were ignored. Her parents visited once and never came back. Embarrassing. Her father told the media, "Let's pretend we never had this daughter." Sometimes, social death is far more complete than the real thing. A year later, my name appeared on Forbes Asia's rich list. Under 30, female, #1. The magazine cover came out. I sat in a black suit, eyes steady, looking directly at the camera. Headline, Nina Grant, Capital doesn't need tears during the interview. The reporter asked about the past. Did that experience shape your current decision-making style? I thought for a moment. Yes. It taught me one thing, never hand your fate to anyone else. Even in love? Especially in love. The day the feature was published, I received a text from an unknown number. Congratulations, you finally won. The number was Evan's prison ID. I didn't reply. I blocked it immediately. Another year passed, and Grant's Asia-Pacific headquarters building was completed. At the ribbon-cutting ceremony, reporters asked again about the past. Mr. Evanchin is about to be released. Do you have anything to say to him? I looked into the camera and smiled, wishing him well in his new life. A very official answer. That night, my assistant informed me that Evan had been released. His father picked him up. They rode the bus away. No media, no attention. Like a drop of water merging into the ocean, silent, unnoticed. Should we have someone watch him? My assistant asked. No, I said. He's not worth another thought. This year marks my third at the helm of Grant Asia Pacific. The company's market value has tripled. My investments in renewable energy secured the largest global order. At the celebration, Grandpa called via video. Well done, my child. Thank you, Grandpa. There's something. He paused. Evan got a job at a small company after prison. Last month, he came to New York looking for me. I raised an eyebrow. Oh, he said he wanted a fresh start and asked me to give him a chance. Grandpa laughed. I had security show him the door. I smiled too. Did he say anything else? He said he still loves you, that the biggest regret of his life was hurting you. Grandpa shook his head. Poor man, but he deserved it. I nodded. Indeed, he deserved it. I ended the call and stepped onto the terrace of the ballroom. The night wind carried the energy of the city. My phone buzzed. It was Rose. He reached out to me. The message read, "He wants you to see him once. Will you?" I replied, "No. He says it's important." "Not important." "All right." I set the phone down and looked at the lights below. Once, I had stood in the shadows, looking up at this glittering world. Once, I thought love was the only salvation. Once, I believed losing someone meant losing everything. Now I know, the world is vast, and my world doesn't need anyone else to make it whole. I am complete on my own. Applause rose from the ballroom. It was my turn to speak. I straightened my collar and walked back into the light. Every step was in my rhythm. I would stop for no one. I would bow to no one. I am Nina Grant. My story is only beginning, and this time, I am the only protagonist.